Hello, Blue Jays fans, and welcome to another edition of Jay's Latest. I am your host, Craig Borden. Happy Canada Day. I hope all is well and that you're enjoying the day off and everything. And yeah, you're just having fun with the family and goofing around, doing whatever it might be that makes you happy. So, one thing that made me happy on Canada Day, Toronto Blue Jays taking on the New York Yankees and walking away with a win. But we will get to that in just a moment because I want to talk some actual Blue Jays news for a change, not just trade rumors. Don't know if all of you've looked at the All Star game voting, but you have until Wednesday about noon. Hurry up and rack up any votes you can for Alejandro Kirk and Vlad Jr. They are currently on the second phase of the All Star game voting. Both of them deserve to go. As much as I love Alejandro Kirk, I cannot help but vote for Cal Riley because he's literally breaking major league records every home run that he hits. But I do love the fact that Kirk is right there because he deserves 100% to be part of the All-Star game. Same thing with Vlad Jr. He is still easily the best first baseman in Major League Baseball. And I think he needs to be rewarded again. And if he does, here's the fun point. He will actually be the third Blue Jay in the Blue Jay history to actually start 4 Major League Baseball All Star games. So, can you name the other two? That would be the other question. Jose Bautista, Roberto Alomar being the other two. Obviously, Bautista being the perennial all star since he hit his monster home run season breakout and everything like that for the Blue Jays, even as a third baseman at the time. Yeah, you forgot about that, didn't you? So, on that, that's really cool. Vladdy and Riley or Vladdy and Kirky right there in the Major League Baseball All Star Game voting, but let's make sure that at least Vladdy gets there for the fourth time in a row. So, on that note, we also got some news right before the trade deadline that they have updated, as usual, the top 100 prospects list. The Blue Jays' two youngsters that had been on this list have excelled and have been moving rapidly up this list. Number 50 is now Arjun Amala, who has been just raking for the Vancouver Canadians. Will be probably joining his very, very brief teammate, Trey Savage, in the very near future in New Hampshire. We'll see. But Trey Savage is number 57 after being like 100. So, um, incredible rise has been a meteoric rise even in the Blue Jays system for Savage, who's finally running into his first challenges as a young baseball player, which I'm very happy about because I think that means he's dealing with adversity a little bit in the minor leagues instead of at the major league level. He's had a rough start since he's been brought up to New Hampshire. 14 innings so far, and he's lost 9 earned runs in those 14 innings so far from being promoted up to the New Hampshire Fisher Cats at Double A. But like I said, that's not a bad thing. Kid throws smoke. He misses bats. He's gonna be okay. I cannot say enough good things about seeing this kid, but he just obviously has an adjustment period, which is what baseball is all about. It is a game of adjustments. Make sure you remember that because best hitters in Major League Baseball history only get a hit a third of the time. Wrap your mind around that one. So, anyway, let's talk about this rivalry. The Blue Jays have been having all sorts of fun lately, winning series. We just won another one now that we won on Canada Day. And the Toronto Blue Jays are really pushing the New York Yankees, who have been having a really rough go. And they even jumped out to an early lead in this one. So the Blue Jays, after the win yesterday, 12-5, by the way, um, are currently 1 game out of first place. They are currently right behind the New York Yankees in the standings, second in the American League East. And obviously, we've been playing really good baseball. Yes, there was that little thing that happened with the White Sox. Just forget that one. So, but at the end of the day, this team has found really good ways to come together. They're picking each other up. This is a team. This is what the Blue Jays have been having trouble finding over the last few years, and it just feels different. I don't know how to describe it, but I think it is the vibes of this team, that how they pick each other up. You got the veterans, you have the the rookies coming in doing what they do. You get the role players like Schneider and Classe so far that are finding key ways to jump in and actually help this ball club. You get in the emergence of players like Nathan Lucas that look like everyday Major League Baseball players, and we're going to get reinforcements. We do not have Jimmy Garcia in this bullpen. He is playing in Buffalo right now. You have um, all the other pieces to this puzzle coming back together, which eventually might even include Anthony Santander's monster bat. The Blue Jays have been talking. Sorry, Itchy. Um, that they have the muscles to flex on this trade market. What does that mean? It's driving me nuts with mantras and whatnot could be going on. I hope that means they're going to make a big splash, like we've been talking about over the previous week, where they're going to get somebody like Seth Lugo and throw a break of money at somebody, take on a Ryan Helsley contract, go for Merrill Kelly and Zach Gallen. I just hope that that's exactly what it is, because this team does need a starting pitcher. A bat could not hurt with going big with somebody like Aguino Suarez, who is currently going to be a rental at the rest of the season, but Diamondbacks would be silly not to trade him with the record that they got going on right now. There's all these things that are going to push this rivalry, and if they stay stagnant and the Yankees win at the trade deadline, they will miss this opportunity to be able to take on a equal in the New York Yankees and flex that muscle to that point. So let's tip the scales, Blue Jays fans. Get them rowdy. Get to those ballparks. We've had 2 sellout games in a row already, Monday and Tuesday. Very fun to watch. Keep it up. It's only going to push this team further, and it's only going to send a better message to the front office that says, hey, get off the pot and let's make this thing work. So let's talk about the game yesterday, because this was a fun one. After the Yankees jumped out into an early lead in the first inning off of Kevin Gausman locked it down. Jason Dominguez was the one that drove in a pair right in the first inning, scoring Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton on a single. That's impressive, just saying, because those two can't run. So not to be taking it lightly, George Springer comes up in the 4th inning, puts the Blue Jays back within striking distance with his 12th home run at the time, a solo shot. And we are not going to stop talking about George Springer during this one, but we're going to keep going. Max Fried had a little bit of home run trouble in the Rogers Center Skydome. Andres Jimenez, the day after his jersey giveaway, hits a home run that was putting the Blue Jays up on top. A 3-run blast that scored himself, obviously, Davis Schneider and Miles Straw, locking down the bottom of the lineup like that. So you talk about a place where you can quickly improve. If we get some more production out of Andres Jimenez at the plate, we are obviously going to be having a good time. Going to the 7th, the Yankees put up a little bit of a threat to come back 4-3 at this point with Giancarlo Stanton. Reached on an error by Ernie Clement. That was a little odd, but I say go look at the highlights on this one, because I was a little surprised, because Ernie usually probably makes this play 9 times out of 10, but 'tis what it is. And then Jason Dominguez once again drives in a run right after that. But these were not hard hit balls. These were pieces that were chiseled over the infield and whatnot, and then a fielder's choice scoring a run. Come on. All right, so we got a tie ball game. Ernie Clement comes up in the 7th and drives in Andres Jimenez and gets a 5-4. Ernie, I can't believe the way he just like threw the bat head at this thing, and it just happened to go for a single. So very off pace. It didn't have it in the right timing of his swing, but Ernie Clement is a crazy contact player as far as his swing. So now the stage is set. Bases loaded. Blue Jays could really use a little insurance. George Springer just goes yard. Grand salami, break out the mustard in the salami. 13th home run of the season, and really puts this one out of reach for the Toronto Blue Jays to take over the Yankees. 9-4 on Canada Day. It's got an epic moment in the red uniforms. It highlights it. Just stoic. You talk about making a statue on something. And it did not end at there. The Blue Jays kept pouring sauce on this thing after the grand salami. Ernie Clement gets another RBI on a walk. Springer just picks up another one. Why not? Comes up with the bases loaded again in the eighth and drives in a couple too. So singles. What a day for George Springer. Jason Dominguez gets one run back for the Yankees at the end of the game in the ninth inning. But at that point, it was too little, too late. So George Springer, let's talk George Springer because the leader of this team had a 7 RBI day with a grand slam, everything betting in the two spot right in front of Vladdy because Bo Bichette was out this game. I haven't found any news on that one yet. Hopefully, it's just a regular off day. 3 for 4 for George Springer. 2 runs scored with the home runs and 7 RBIs. And then just don't forget he had a walk. So his season batting average is 270. People. This is a guy that had like 1 hit in spring training, and you were all, and we were all. Why is he here? What's going on? George Springer has found the fountain of youth or whatever it might be, but he is doing something incredible for Blue Jays fans. And this has been very special. Also in this game, Andres Jimenez, as I mentioned, went 2 for 3 with 3 runs scored and 3 RBIs as well. Just keeping things moving. So Blue Jays had a great day at the field, and I do not want to just miss out on talking about the pitching in this one too, because Gossman 5 innings, scatters 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 strikeouts, but 4 walks. So he didn't have his best stuff, or he's getting squeezed because that seems to be the bigger issue. Nick Sandlin and company turn it around and hold this one out. Yariel Rodriguez, as I mentioned, giving up the 1 run in the ninth inning, but Yariel has been something fun to watch in the bullpen too, people, and I think he's going to start getting used in some bigger leverage, especially while we're waiting for Jimmy Garcia to come back. So we got one more game against these New York Yankees, I think. I can't remember if it was 2 or 1 now. I'm doubting myself. 2. So we technically at least split this series. We will be playing them again on Thursday. So right now, the Toronto Blue Jays will be facing the Yankees tonight, 7 o'clock Eastern time. Will Warren will be on the mound for the Yankees against Jose Barrios. The Machina is looking for another win. He's been having a couple of good outings. I want to see him continue this rise because he is not allowed a run in his last 2 starts and only allowed 6 hits for Jose Barrios. And just to say, that's over 14 2/3 innings. So he is cruising, and I would say he's jacked up and ready for this game. I'm expecting Jose Barrios to look like Mad Max a little bit today. You don't see a ton of emotion out of him, but this is going to be a playoff field game like it has the last 2 games. The Blue Jays know they are in the game now. They know they have a chance to win the division. They know the Yankees are having a rough time. The blood is in the water, party people. And I think at this point, the Blue Jays have a chance to take on these New York Yankees and set a precedent for the rest of the season in this series. So he'll be facing Will Warren, who has been having a decent season in 17 starts for the New York Yankees, 4.37 ERA over the year, and he has not allowed more than 3 runs in his last any of his last outings. So last 7 for that matter. Well, no, that's not a great one, but that shows there might be a chance for the Blue Jays. His last 3 starts have been a lot better than his last 7 total. So either way, Will Warren is a chance for the Blue Jays to beat up on this Yankee team further. Get this bullpen for the Yankees has been taking attacks over the last couple of days. If they get to Will Warren early, this could be another crooked number. So we're only going to hope. That is the big win, right? So make sure you tune in every week, or not every week, every day here on Jaybird Watching Podcast. No, on Jay's latest. Check out my Jaybird Watching podcast too, because that is the other one that we also have fun. We're going to have our friend Anthony from Major League Brews on this evening to talk Yankees, what this rivalry's looked like over the years, and obviously all things beer and collecting and whatnot and hanging out in the ballpark. So make sure you check that out live this evening, 7:30 Eastern. We're going to be live during the game, and we will talk all things Blue Jays and a little bit of Yankees tonight. So have fun, everybody. Happy Canada Day again. I hope you're having fun for this week if you have any vacation time. And as always, go Blue Jays.